Hi, how we doing? So this is not a podcast anymore. It kind of is. It's my own little talking sessions. I love a yap. I love a yapping session. Love to chit chat. And this is kind of what this is now. I don't know if I'm gonna do the whole Spotify thing, but I'm registered. So maybe, maybe not. I'm still trying to figure out how to do the whole video on Spotify thing. Cannot for the life of me figure that out, but that's not now's problem. So, in the previous episode, I spoke about this woman, this amazing woman that inspired me to start this podcast, to inspire me to take the risk to start this. And I made everyone aware that she was sick in the hospital. She unfortunately did pass away. And wow, what an amazing woman that was. So, a lot of people were like, doubting that this is actually the reasoning or something like that. And I'm gonna read to you the, I don't know what you call this, but like the little picture they sent out of her. Like, look at that beautiful woman. So I'm gonna show you guys this. And her thing read, the bottom line read, "Life is too short to love with limits." And her whole ceremony, they spoke about how she was this risk taker and she lived every day to the fullest, and that just inspired me. And that's what the previous episode was all about. And today's episode is going to be the burnt toast theory. So I love living by theories. It helps me understand the world better. I'm just one of those people. A family member in my family, a family member in my family. He lives very literal. Stuff has to be practical. It has to make sense. It has to be proven. Totally respect that. Totally get that. But I'm not like that, and love him to bits. And we understand each other in that sense. So yeah, today is gonna be the burnt toast theory. So I kind of wrote everything down that I wanted to say because I feel like the first episode was very here and there, this and that. A lot of like, I don't know. Like, it was a very in the moment thing that I did, and I'm very glad I did it because now here I am. And I'm sitting here chatting to you guys because I did it. Okay, let's start with what the burnt toast theory is. This is what we call when things don't go the way you wanted or expected it to go. The burnt toast theory suggests that life's minor inconveniences might actually be serving a purpose or protecting you from something. Essentially, if you burn your toast in the morning, something that feels so challenging in the moment when it happens, because, for instance, when something happens in the morning or I can't find that specific jacket that I wanted, or my deodorant's done and the water is not hot, so I have to wait for the geyser to, like, stuff like that happens. When I burn my toast and I have to make a whole new one, I'm already running late, and it just feels so overwhelming in the moment. You just feel like, what the actual frick? Like, this is Murphy's Law, but I don't. I don't like Murphy's Law. I don't believe in Murphy's Law, but Murphy's Law's gonna catch me probably now. Me saying I don't believe in it, and then it's gonna be like, yeah, bitch, everything that would go wrong could go. Everything that could go wrong is gonna go wrong now. But like, that's just my life, anyways. So when something like that happens, like something as simple as burning your toast that feels so like in the moment, or you want to make granola and yogurt with fruit, and all of a sudden your granola sour, yogurt's sour, and the fruit is like, you can just see it's bad, and you have to like make a whole new meal real quick. That feels so like massive in the moment, and that's so valid. Like, that's so really valid. So the time you spent making another slice of toast may have saved you from a car accident or something else bad happening from you. So have you ever like driven on the road and you see like a car accident like on the side of the road and like, shit, I wonder what happened? But I always think about it like, shit, if I didn't stop to quickly like get a drink, or if I quickly didn't stop because I felt like, sometimes I stop, sometimes I'm like, oh, if I didn't like overtake that truck, that could have been me. If I didn't like get stuck behind this freaking long ass truck and I can't overtake it because this car is coming from incoming traffic, like that could have been me. if something so small and so minor and so inconvenient happens, and that is so difficult and challenging in the moment, but if you really think about it in the bigger picture, it's just a small thing that happened that could have saved you from something much larger happening. Or maybe it causes you to be late for a meeting, but as you stroll in, you cross paths with someone who will become incredibly meaningful in your life, like you wouldn't have met otherwise. So, for instance, you burnt your toast, you're late for your first meeting of the day, just like in a career way. Or, for instance, you burnt your toast and you didn't attend your first class. You're like, shit, really needed to attend that class, didn't. But as you come late on campus or as you enter that freaking building, you may bump into someone that will become incredibly meaningful in your life. Most of my friends I have made by coincidence. Most of my friends I have made, my bestest, closest friends, I've met them on accident. Um, like one of them, for instance, I'm gonna name drop her now, Tanya. One of my really close friends, Tanya, that was like a planned friendship. Like, she's gonna laugh at this, but I wanted to be her friend because our personalities looked so similar, and people always told me like we are really like the same person. And that was a planned friendship, kind of on my side. I don't know if she knows this, but that was a planned friendship on my side. But for instance, another friend, Noreen, I met her for the first time at a rugby match I wasn't planning on going to, and then I ended up being late for the rugby match, and that just happened. And I don't even know where we saw each other again, where we became like such close friends, but like today she's one of my bestest friends ever. And something that's so minor, for instance, another example. So in first year, I had a flatmate. Like, she's one of my bestest friends. Love her to freaking pieces, Kyla. Um, so Kyla and me decided not to be flatmates again the following year because she moved in with one of her other friends. That they studied at the same university, was just a logical decision. And even though in the moment it felt like so massive to me that I'm losing this person, I didn't lose her, but to me it felt like, yo, I'm losing her. Like, we live together, we ate together, we like we did everything together in that house and the apartment. I was so scared like our friendship is gonna end, and it didn't. But because that happened, it led me to meeting my today roommate, Emily. And me and Emily are like the closest. Like, I trust her with my whole life and more. She knows every little secret about me, and I go to her for advice. And if me and Kyla didn't decide not to be roommates, like flatmates, the following year, I would have never met Emily, because me and Emily are different people, and she would like testify this if she was here. We are completely different people. I am so sensitive, and she's just like, like, just don't give a F. And I'm like, no, but you don't understand. She's like, yeah, I do understand, but like, it's fine, just get over it. And I needed that. And she's English. Like, that girl is English. She lives in Grahamstown and is London. Like, that's I don't she's English, and I live in Middleburg, Eastern Cape, and I'm the definition of Afrikaans. Like, we are totally different people, and I wouldn't have met her otherwise if it wasn't for this like minor inconvenience that happened to me last year. And I'm so thankful for that minor inconvenience, because that led me to meeting one of my bestest friends ever. And even though we aren't staying together next year because his sister's matric this year and she's coming to Stellenbosch and they're staying together, they're staying in our complex. So I'm again on the hunt for another roommate. But I know that friendship is not gonna end because she's 2 meters away from me. We're still gonna see each other every day. Like, she makes amazing food, so I'm gonna like go to their apartment and be like, hey girly pop, remember that amazing food you made? I need that again in my life. So even though that happened, I'm so thankful for it, because in the moment I was like, I can't believe this is happening. I'm feeling so like unmotivated. I'm feeling so like disappointed in life and in myself, and that was just such a minor inconvenience in the big picture, because in the big picture it led me to meeting one of my bestest friends today, like someone I really really love, and I can't imagine life without her now that I know her in my life. So yeah, that's just like a crazy thing about life. And know, something like, it's like a bunch of things. Like, if I okay, so this is kind of like sketchy for me to say. This is like me taking a risk saying it, but I had like a very big situationship that I think a few people are aware of. We are not speaking anymore, and that's so fine. Wish him and his new girlfriend all the best. I am friends with his new girlfriend. I love her also to bits. And if I didn't meet him, like meeting him was such a like big lesson because he like our whole situation taught me so much about life and what I wanted and what I didn't want. Not saying like he's a bad guy, he's the sweetest man I've ever met in my life, and I really wish him the best, but we just weren't a match. And that's okay. Like, in the big picture, when that situation happened, when we ended, I felt like my world was ending. I'm losing the only person I've ever trusted. And that was not the truth. I have amazing friends, and they pulled me through that shit. And in that situation, I also realized like there was another person that I had much bigger feelings for, and I wouldn't have realized it if I didn't have that situation. And I don't know if that makes sense. I don't even know if that makes sense, but in the way of like, if I hadn't, I fell in love with him. Like, I'm gonna be so honest with that. I had a massive crush on that man. Everyone knew it. So chilled. Like, like it's not awkward saying it now. It was very like, whoo. Like a few months ago, you wouldn't have caught me dead saying that shit. But yeah, now where I am in my life, I don't want to say I don't think about them because that sounds very rude. But he doesn't cross my mind until I like see a post of him, like, oh, cutie, or his new girlfriend like sends me a DM, and I'm like, oh, and I can truly, with my whole heart, say I wish them the best because they deserve each other in the way that I think they're built for each other. And a few months ago, I wouldn't have said that. Like, I would have thought it, but I wouldn't have said it because I wanted him. And yeah, that's just life. And okay, but that was not the point. The point is, if I hadn't met him, I wouldn't have met people that I'm really like not close with, but that I really like appreciate in my life. For say, like there are some people that are his close friends, that were his close friends. I don't know their situation, but like but that were his close friends. And I don't want to say I'm close friends with them today, but I like knowing them. It's fun for me to know them because they care and they're very sweet people. And that whole situation taught me a lot about myself. So in the moment, that felt so minor. Like that was such a excuse me. In the moment, that felt so major. That felt so. Oh, I can't with this. This is literally the most life ruining situation that's ever happened. Like, wada. But in that, like, in when that happened, when that situation happened, I felt so horrible about it. It was this massive thing that's happening to me. It was like the end of the world type of situation, and it wasn't. It wasn't. Looking back to it now, it just learned me a lot. It gave me so much freedom. It taught me so much about myself, about how I handle situations, how I can better myself in situations. Like I'm not saying, oh, I wasn't good enough. I'm saying like I realized certain things that I did to handle the situation wasn't the best, and that taught me to like be more of a, for like instance, I don't know if she's watching this, but if she's watching this, she'll know what I'm saying. It taught me to be more of a girl's girl and handle situations better in a girl's way, because I love being a girl's girl. I stand for being a girl's girl. Like if you're mean to me, I'll mean to you back, but like girl's girl, always I want to be that first of all in every situation that I'm in. And yeah, that just taught me to handle that situations better as well. But I don't know, another like instance is about 2.5 years ago, about 2021 December. So that's kind of that's 3 years ago. About like 3 years ago, I met three people, and in the moment, I didn't realize how big of a part that three people would play in my life. So I'm not gonna name names. I'm not that type of person. Like I'll like name call my friends, being like, "Hey, this and this is this person. Like we're so close," and that might change in a year or two. But like the two people I named, Tanya and Irene, not going anywhere. Sorry, girls, but you're not going anywhere. So it was 2021 December. I met these three guys literally on a night I wasn't supposed to go out. We came that morning to Hartenbos, and I wasn't supposed to go out. My parents told me like, no, Yanae, like we don't want you to. Went out, had the time of my freaking life. Met these three people. I was with one of my bestest friends at the time. Antu, still love her to bits, and I don't know. I can't even tell you how I met these people. It was kind of like a big joke how I met them, but I did. And today I'm so like happy that I did that and that I went. And in the moment, me and my mom were fighting. I was like, I can't believe this. Like, shouldn't have went. And it was like such a big fight in the moment. It was like such a big thing. It felt massive to me. But thinking about it today, like that was such a minor inconvenience, and I'm so happy I went because those are three people that I really care about, even though one of those people is one of my biggest op. And like that's so funny saying, but he is one of my biggest ops, and I love him to bits. Like that's just like my ongoing joke with everyone, that he's my biggest op. I'll tell him that self. It's like one-sided beef I have. But it's so funny. And if I didn't go, I wouldn't have met these three amazing people, and they wouldn't have played such a big role in my life, because each of those three people taught me such a big life lesson about myself, about the life I wanted and the life I was living. And like even my biggest op, he taught me something, the other guy taught me something, and the most important guy out of the three taught me like massive life lessons. And like if it wasn't for meeting them, I would have never met these few people. They're younger than me, they're not like, it's not it. It's not it. But meeting these people was like the biggest gift, because they all influenced me in different ways, and my life is better because of them. And like there was heartbreak along the way, like a lot happened along the way, but it's the burnt toast theory. It was, in Afrikaans you say, was die moeite werd. I don't know what that is in English. It was the opportunity well lived. I don't know. It was worth it at the end. But okay, let's move on with what I wrote, because I was just yapping. Okay, it's kind of like the universe always has your back. So next time you face a failure, trust the process. Everything, every freaking thing, I don't want to swear, but everything happens for a reason. Something even better is on its way. And you may not believe it. In the moment, you may feel so, oh, but something better is along. Like something better is coming. The universe is always protecting you, even if it may not seem like it. When your toast burns in the morning, I've never like burned my toast and been late, because if I burn my toast, I'm like, frick this, I'm not eating breakfast, and I just leave. But if that happens, um, some like that's the universe way of protecting you, like if you see it or not. And one of my friends, she's very spiritual, love her to bits, but she'll also be like, yeah, true facts. Hi, I'm back in Stellenbosch. I look ridiculous and I'm editing my video. But while I'm editing it, there was like an important life lesson as well that this friend taught me. She said, rejection is just redirection. And I loved that. Rejection is just redirection. Okay, let's go on. Because she believes in the universe protecting you, and I also do. I see it as a more like of a religious figure as well, but I love the universe. I love seeing that the universe is helping me. I see the universe and my religious beliefs as kind of one. Like the universe, in my opinion, is controlled by God, and that's my religion. I'm a Christian, and I see it the way as God is protecting me, the universe is protecting me. Even if in the moment I'm late for this meeting, not gonna make it, I'm stuck in traffic, like what the frick. The universe is protecting me even if I feel so like distraughted in the moment. I don't know if distraught is the right word. Emily, if you're watching this, please let me know if distraught is the right word. And if you're English and you're also watching this, please let me know if I use that in the right sentence construction. Okay, here's another like two examples that I had that I took inspiration from my friends and their lives. When I do stuff, when I write stuff, I always think about my friends and about me. So I'll never speak about someone else's situation, be like, oh, like if this is happening to you, I'll never target anything on anyone, because like that's their own path. Whatever they choose, I'm gonna support them. Whatever they choose, like I love them to bits, and I'll support them no matter what happens. So this is not wholeheartedly like me. Like this is not, I don't know, like in Afrikaans you would say, hierdie gaan nie oor my nie. This is not about me. Oh, actually I just did that. Fucking Google Translate who. Anyways, okay. So I just made two little examples that I feel like are big examples in today's life and age. Even like I'm 20. I'm a girl in her 20s. I'm gonna try and like edit the logo. I'm just a girl in her 20s. Did it work? Probably not. I'm very sucky at editing and I want to literally do digital marketing. Who do I think I am? I can see my phone ringing. My phone is there, like see it ringing. Leah, if you're watching this, I'll call you back as soon as I'm done here. Yeah. I know you're watching this. I love Leah. She's like one of my biggest supporters, and I really love her for that. Okay. So let's get back to my examples. Finally. Okay. When you get denied from a job opportunity that you really wanted, maybe it is because there's a bigger opportunity waiting for you. So usually everyone's when you get denied from something, when you have this opportunity, you really wanted it, you got denied from it, it didn't work out. Everyone's like, oh, maybe there's a bigger opportunity for you out there, and I I wholeheartedly believe that. But also, maybe this job you really wanted is going to cause you so many mental health problems, and it's just the universe's way of protecting you. So maybe you wanted this job so badly and everyone's like, no, like there's big opportunities out there. Maybe this is like if you sign this contract you won't be able to sign this one in like a few months. Like, yeah, of course that can happen, but maybe the universe is like, you are going to be so overwhelmed, you're going to be so sad, you're going to be so like depressed, irritated, and so overstimulated. That's not worth it. Like the universe is just like, that's not worth it, girl. Like, oh boy, like that's not worth it. Girly pop is like little side note. Back in December I said Miss Girl, I was like Miss Girl, and then I just started calling everyone Miss Girl. And yeah, so Miss Girl and girly pop is like it's like a universal term no matter what gender you are, in my opinion. Yeah, very funny story, but actually, but girly pop, maybe getting, what did I wanted to say? Yeah, onafhanklikbaar se letterlike hart. Anyways, maybe you getting denied that opportunity is just because the universe knew you weren't in the mental state to handle it. Maybe something's gonna happen in a few weeks, and then you have all this pressure as well from this new opportunity, and you're just gonna get squashed. So everything goes both ways. When, whoa, a little too close to home for some of you, for me as well sometimes. When that boy or girl you really liked doesn't like you back, or it just isn't working out between you two, no matter how hard anyone tries, the heartbreak you are feeling now, even though it hurts so much and you're so sad, confused, or conflicted, maybe the universe is sparing you from a much bigger heartbreak in the future. Or maybe that relationship that you desperately wanted is the thing that is going to make you so unhappy in the future that ends up destroying the person you were supposed to become. Okay, so this is one I've thought about a lot recently because of like a personal situation. But if you really like someone, if you really like a girl or a boy, I don't think boys listen to my little episode, but if you do, I love you for that. But maybe you really like this person and that it just isn't working out. Either both of you like each other and you're trying so hard, but like nothing you do is like working out. Or maybe you really like him, he doesn't like you, and you're like, what the actual frick? Like, I'm such a nice person, why not? Like, ugh, the frick? That is something to accept. Even if you are trying so hard and the universe keeps like pushing you away from each other, like both of you want to try again, but the universe is like, no, we're literally sending him to fucking Antarctica. Like, he's going to another continent. He's going to another continent. And that's the universe's way of telling you to calm down. That's the universe's that is the universe's way of that is the universe's way of telling you to calm the fuck down. That's like the universe being like, sit down. Like, were you silent or were you silenced? The universe silenced you. Like, I don't know if it makes sense, but I truly believe that everything happens for a reason. The burnt toast theory is so real. Like the burnt toast theory can also be seen as everything happens for a reason, because everything does happen for a reason. Maybe my own personal example. I'm not talking about my situationship, that big one. I'm not talking about like a more recent encounter, if you will. If you're not, well, it's not recent, it's not old, it's just somewhere in the middle, but it's not the main one everyone's like thinking about. I'll clarify when I'm speaking about that, because like out of respect, because everyone knew of it, so out of respect for them, I'll clarify when I'm speaking about the main situationship that I had in my life, like the main heartbreak that everyone's aware of. So I'm not gonna name call because that's also rude and like, no. Anyways, okay. So this middle old new situationship that I encountered in my life recently, I almost gave this man away. I almost literally like explained like when it was, and then people could have tracked it. So let's just say this situationship that was not new, not old, but I really wanted it, really. And when I thought about it more, it was always like maybe in the future, maybe in the future, maybe in the future. Then it kind of happened. Then it kind of like exploded in both our faces, like being both of us being emotionally unavailable, and then having friends with very loud ass opinions, like me and him. We had both had friends with very loud ass opinions, like giving their opinions on what we should do, what we shouldn't do, what like live your single life, you're 20, you're blank age. I'm not gonna even expose his age because I'm so scared people's gonna find out who it is. But anyways, so talking about that, I don't know how he ever felt, if he ever wanted it, but I really did. Really did. Like, I still think about it sometimes that I really do want it, but it's just not on the cards. And that's okay as well. Like, that's so okay. That happens. That's life. And I constantly think about the fact, and that I wanna like use the situation, but I actually can't because it's not. Afrikaans you say van toepassing. It's not like it just can't be him, because maybe it worked out. We end up getting married, and he's such to me, and I'm so unhappy. Or he's so controlling and overbearing, and I just can't with that. Maybe he feels like this and this and this and this should happen, and he should be in charge, and like he doesn't believe in 50-50, and I do believe in 50-50. No matter what your income is, no matter where you are from, I believe in 50-50. Like everything should be fair in a relationship, should be equal in a relationship. I also believe in the fact of not emotional 50-50. So for instance, if I am so happy today and I am so like happy with what happened in my life, like I had the best day ever at work, and just like future. And this man, for instance, my future husband, had a horrible day at work. Like he something happened, a client didn't work out, something like that, like this went wrong, the piping wasn't put down correctly, or this client cancelled, or he lost this case, for instance, like stuff like that. I don't know what my future husband's gonna do. So I'm literally thinking lawyer, construction worker, manager. Like that was like the three things I was thinking about, like mainly now. But and he's like at he's like at 25%. Then I have to be at 75%, because it has to be 100% because we're a team. I'll get more into that in the future, but like that's just like a little side opinion of what I have. But okay, that whole yapping situation was just like me getting distracted and not wanting to like talk about the real thing. But basically, it can't be applied to him because he's not that person. He's not the person that would say, "Hey, you have to do this and this and this and this, and you can't do this and this and this and this and this has to happen." And no for this and no for that, and no, like because he's just not that person. Like he's the nicest person I've ever met in my life, and that's why I really liked him. That's why I really wanted to end up with him in my life. Like even though I'm 20, I never like have a crush. I'm like, oh, that would be like a fun little 2-week thing. No, I have a crush, and I'm like, I would love to marry you. That's just a little thing about me. That's like a very weird thing that I do and that I have. But like if I have a crush, a serious crush where I actually like you and I actually have feelings for you, I see a future with you. I don't just fuck around. That's just not me. But yeah, anyways. So for instance, if you don't like this guy, or if you don't, of course you do, girly pop. If you love this, very big words. If you like this guy and you like this girl, but it's just not working out, the universe keeps pushing you back, like pushing you away from each other, or you both were trying so hard that you're just like no, or you wanted so much and he's just like actually stay the fuck away, and the girl's just like nirangi. That happens. That's so normal. That's living in your 20s. That's okay. Some people are listening to this are younger, I am aware, but that's teenage, that's life. um and that is maybe sparing you from so much like sadness in your future, because let's say I get in a relationship with this guy I really like, and he lives in another like province than I do, and it's so far away from Stellenbosch. And I want to end up in Cape Town. I want to end up in the Western Cape in Stellenbosch. That's where I want to end up in my life. And this man doesn't. And because he doesn't, I'm maybe gonna try and get a career opportunity closer to where he is instead of staying where I want to stay. Like, I don't know if that makes sense, but maybe the situation that is happening is only happening because there's so much more waiting for you. And if you are in this relationship, for instance, like keep relationships, because I feel like that's the biggest thing in your 20s is you're trying to figure. Okay, Susan. Sorry, that's my dog. I was just scared shitless because she's like a baby. She's so quiet. She's literally this big ass Rottweiler, and her name's Twinkles. But like, she's such a baby. Anyways, okay. Ek voel ek yap net nou and I'm talking so much nonsense, but like this is what this is, and there's gonna be so much editing work for me. So like if you feel like you're tired listening to this, imagine how I feel actually editing this. Anyways. Everything happens for a reason. Everything that is meant to be will be, because if it wasn't meant to be, it didn't happen. I am the biggest Taylor Swift fan, as many of you know. Like, you are not watching this being like, I don't know, she was a Taylor Swift fan, because like if you are watching this, you know me, and like I am the biggest fucking slut for Taylor Swift. Yo, that woman is my queen. Like, I don't know, like England who, like that's my queen. But she has a song called Could've, Should've, Would've. I hope I'm saying that correctly, but don't think about the could've, because if it should've, it would've. Don't think about what could have happened between you and him. Don't think about what could have happened if you got this career opportunity. Don't think about what could have happened if you moved to Cape Town. Because if it should have happened, if that relationship should have worked out, if you should have gotten that job, if you should have moved to Cape Town, you would have done it. You would have been in that relationship now. You would have gotten that opportunity and you would have moved. But it didn't happen. So it shouldn't have happened. So it's so difficult and it's so infuriating. I don't know, infuriating. It's so flippin'. I don't know what else to say, but it's so like, fuck. I didn't say the whole word, so it's not swearing. Yeah. So if it was meant to happen, it would have happened. And if it didn't happen, it's because there is a reasoning. Because there is a reasoning. And I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else I can say to convince you that everything happens for a reason. The burnt toast theory is real. And accept it, move on, and live forward. But this is literally applies to me as well. Like, stop thinking about what could have happened, because if it should have happened, it would have happened. That's kind of all I have. Okay, that's kind of all I have. Just remember, the universe is always trying to protect you, even if you can't see it now. And don't think about the could have, because if it should have, it would have. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a girl in her 20s. Bye!